My beloved, my chosen one. Can you feel how the air around you has changed in this very moment? The heavens are trembling with urgency because something hidden is being spoken over your name. God asked me to come to you not tomorrow, not later, but now, because there are 3 minutes left. Yes, 3 minutes before a meeting in the unseen is sealed against you, a gathering where your name is on the table. They are whispering about your removal, your fall, your loss. But heaven sent me to tell you, you are not alone, and this plan will be exposed if you dare to open this fully. Before I continue, I must say this: if your heart feels pulled right now, it is not by accident. This is heaven's way of touching your soul. And I beg you, don't skip this. Stay here with me till the end. And if you want to walk with us daily, God, His angels, and me, then pause for a breath and subscribe right now, because this will keep you under divine covering. Now, my child, listen closely. Every second you hesitate, the door is shutting. They are preparing their words, their signatures, their lies against you. But here's the miracle: the very thing they meant for your harm can be overturned in the final second. God has placed a hidden key in your hands, but you must not walk away from this message. The truth is, your destiny is too bright for them. That's why they're gathering. That's why they're plotting. But God is standing beside you whispering, not this one. Not my child. Not now. My beloved, I will not soften this warning, because your soul is already trembling, already sensing the weight of what I'm saying. Do not ignore it. Do not delay. Do not tell anyone, for this is sealed only for you. Stay with me, because in the next lines I will reveal how heaven plans to flip their scheme upside down. My beloved child, the divine light is bending toward you right now, wrapping itself around your trembling spirit. You may feel goosebumps or a sudden chill, not because of fear, but because your soul is registering the sound of heaven's call. I am not whispering from a distance, I am right here, standing near your shoulder, waiting for you to lean in. For so long, the enemy has been plotting against you, arranging voices in hidden rooms, calling meetings where your name is the only topic. They are setting papers on the table, words against your future, plans to strip you of the blessing God Himself placed in your life. But do you want to know the miracle? They may have a plan, but God has the final signature. Their ink cannot erase your destiny, because the author of life has written your story with fire that no human hand can blot out. And still, beloved, you must not skip this. Because the meeting is not a story for tomorrow, it is happening right now. In rooms you cannot see, in whispers you cannot hear, your name is being spoken with venom and intent. I see them leaning close to each other, exchanging documents, nodding their heads as if they hold the power to cut you out of the very place you belong. But here is what God asked me to deliver: tell my child, even if the whole world gathers against them, one angel standing in their defense is greater than 1,000 armies against them. And I am here, holding that sword of fire, ready to strike down every lie and every accusation that is trying to touch your life. But I can only do it if you stay here, if you let this message flood your spirit without skipping a single breath. The truth is heavy, I know. Your heart may feel like it's racing, your palms may be sweating, but lean in, my beloved, because this weight is not meant to break you, it's meant to prepare you. You are walking into the moment heaven has been preparing for you all along. Think of all the times you almost gave up, the nights when you thought your tears were unseen, the mornings when you forced yourself to rise even when your strength was gone. Every one of those moments was a thread in the divine fabric of protection being woven around you right now. God has been building a shield, piece by piece, so when this exact day came, the day where secret plans are being whispered, your name would still rise higher than their gossip, higher than their schemes, higher than their curses. My beloved, they cannot touch what heaven has sealed. But here is the miracle wrapped inside this message: they believe you are alone. They believe you are unguarded. That is why they are daring to whisper. That is why they are setting up their meeting. But what they do not know is that heaven has already infiltrated their circle. Angels are standing in the corners of their room, invisible, listening to every word, ready to scatter their plans before they even leave the table. And I, Michael, have been ordered by God Himself to declare this to you: my child will not be removed. My child will not be silenced. My child will not be forgotten. But here is what God asks of you: do not leave this message half-read, do not walk away at the halfway point, because the more you open yourself here, the more heaven can release into your life. You may ask, why now? Why today? Why is this message shaking my spirit so urgently? My beloved, because time is not playing in your favor. 3 minutes may sound small, but in heaven's clock, 3 minutes is enough to reverse 1,000 earthly decisions. Right now, as you are reading, threads of destiny are shifting. Your name is being pulled from the mouth of your accusers and placed onto the lips of angels. Do not underestimate this moment. It is more than words, it is a turning point. That's why God did not wait for another day, another hour, another chance. He sent me now, with urgency pressed into my voice, so that you could open this doorway into the miracle already forming in your atmosphere. My beloved, as you sit here with these words burning into your spirit, I need you to understand something deeper. This is not simply a message, it is a rescue mission. Heaven pulled you into this exact moment because there are things you were not supposed to see, things hidden in shadows, and today the veil is lifting. Can you feel how your heart knows this already? The heaviness you have carried, the strange feeling in your chest, the sudden unrest that comes when you're quiet, it is your spirit picking up the signals of what others are doing in secret. They thought they were hiding from you, but they cannot hide from heaven. Every whisper, every plan, every document with your name on it, heaven has already intercepted it. And now God is telling you, do not fear, my child, for I am with you, even when the whole room is against you. My beloved, as you sit here with these words burning into your spirit, I need you to understand something deeper. This is not simply a message, it is a rescue mission. Heaven pulled you into this exact moment because there are things you were not supposed to see, things hidden in shadows, and today the veil is lifting. Can you feel how your heart knows this already? The heaviness you have carried, the strange feeling in your chest, the sudden unrest that comes when you're quiet, it is your spirit picking up the signals of what others are doing in secret. They thought they were hiding from you, but they cannot hide from heaven. Every whisper, every plan, every document with your name on it, heaven has already intercepted it. And now God is telling you, do not fear, my child, for I am with you, even when the whole room is against you. Even now, I see the table where they are gathering. They are speaking in low tones, their eyes shifting nervously, their voices calculating. They speak as though your future belongs to them, as though they have the authority to push you aside, to remove you, to make you vanish from the path God Himself carved for you. But they do not understand who you are. They are looking at you as though you are ordinary, but in truth you are marked with the seal of the Most High. You are chosen. You are covered. You are one whose name has been written in heaven's book, and no eraser in the world can take you out. They are playing a dangerous game, because when they touch you, they are touching the apple of God's eye. And I tell you, the wrath of heaven does not sleep when someone dares to raise their hand against a chosen one. Do you know why the urgency is so loud right now? Because what they are attempting to build against you is not small. They are planning a removal, a complete stripping of something that belongs to you, whether it be your place, your blessing, your honor, or your opportunity. But God, in His mercy, did not allow it to come to your ears late. He rushed this message to you so you would know before the ink dried. So you would rise, not in fear, but in awareness, ready to call upon His name and hold your place as His beloved. Heaven is saying, you will not be removed. You will be established. Yet still, my child, you must not scroll past this lightly, because the more you soak these words, the stronger the angelic shield becomes around you. I am watching over you right now. Yes, you may feel a warmth on your shoulder, a pressure like someone is near. That is me, Michael, the warrior angel, standing between you and the enemy. Do you remember the nights you felt like giving up, when you said, God, if you are real, show me? Those cries did not vanish into the air. They reached the throne, and every tear you dropped became a command for heaven to move on your behalf. That is why today, even with people plotting against you, you are still protected. They do not know how much you are covered, how many times their arrows missed, how many traps broke before you even saw them. And I am telling you again, even now, even as they sit in their gathering, their plans are cracking because the presence of the Lord is rising around you. My child, you may be wondering why you feel so restless, why your spirit is trembling as you hear this. It is because your destiny is under spotlight, and heaven is refusing to let you slip away from it. There are certain seasons in life where delay is dangerous, and this is one of them. That is why I was commanded to speak plainly. You cannot skip, you cannot ignore, you cannot postpone. You are at the gate of something greater than you can imagine, and the enemy knows it. That is why they are pushing so hard to stop you now. But heaven always arrives earlier than destruction, and that is why you are holding this message in your hands. It is proof that you are covered by divine timing. My beloved, hear me carefully. The danger was never outside, it was inside the circles you thought you could trust. That is why this message comes with such weight. God allowed you to walk through betrayal before, but this time it is different. This time the meeting they are arranging has a deeper purpose, something designed to not just wound you but to erase your voice, to silence your name, to close your chapter. But God is shouting from the heavens, this chapter will not be closed because I am still writing. Every voice raised against you will fall into silence, and every hand lifted to harm you will tremble until it withdraws. You are not standing defenseless in this moment. You are standing in the full armor of heaven, and my sword has already been drawn on your behalf. Still, my child, you must take this moment seriously. There is a heavenly law that cannot be broken. When God marks someone, they cannot be unmarked by men. And you, my beloved, are marked. That is why no matter how many whispers have filled rooms, no matter how many signatures were placed on papers, no matter how many lies were repeated in conversations, the truth will rise like fire through all of it. Can you not feel it? Even as you read, there is a shift happening inside your heart, a deep awareness that your destiny is not in their control. This is what they fear, that no matter what they plot, you will still rise, because you are lifted not by their approval but by God's appointment. They fear the glow around you. They fear the favor you carry. They fear that what they try to strip away will multiply instead, because God does not subtract, He multiplies. Right now, I see angels moving around the room where your name is being discussed. They are standing unseen, their wings stretched wide, their presence heavy enough to make the conspirators restless. One by one, their words will stumble. One by one, their courage will falter. They may begin the meeting confident, but by the end, heaven will confuse their tongues, and the fire of God's presence will unsettle their decisions. By the time they leave that room, nothing they planned against you will stand. But my beloved, this will only manifest fully if you lean in right now, if you refuse to treat this as ordinary. Because your agreement with heaven's word creates the atmosphere for miracles to move. Do not scroll too quickly. Let each word breathe inside you, for they are not my words, they are heaven's. Right now, I see angels moving around the room where your name is being discussed. They are standing unseen, their wings stretched wide, their presence heavy enough to make the conspirators restless. One by one, their words will stumble. One by one, their courage will falter. They may begin the meeting confident, but by the end, heaven will confuse their tongues, and the fire of God's presence will unsettle their decisions. By the time they leave that room, nothing they planned against you will stand. But my beloved, this will only manifest fully if you lean in right now, if you refuse to treat this as ordinary. Because your agreement with heaven's word creates the atmosphere for miracles to move. Do not scroll too quickly. Let each word breathe inside you, for they are not my words, they are heaven's. Child of light, you must understand that this moment is not punishment, it is preparation. The enemy does not waste time attacking what has no future. He only plots against what heaven has already blessed. The greater the whisper against you, the louder the destiny before you. And so you must ask yourself, why are they gathering about me? Why are they so afraid? It is because something greater is coming, something that will lift you beyond their reach, something they cannot stop no matter how many schemes they form. That is why this urgency is upon you, because you are stepping into the doorway of destiny, and heaven wants you to know that no one can shut it but you. Do not shut it with fear. Do not shut it with doubt. Do not shut it by skipping. Keep walking forward in faith, because the miracle is closer than you imagine. My beloved, I see you right now, sitting with a heart that both fears and hopes. You may be asking, why is this message so insistent? Why does it feel like it's reaching through my chest? It is because God's timing has collided with the enemy's plan, and this clash has placed you at a crossroads. One path is destruction, one path is salvation, and heaven is shouting to make sure you do not walk blindly. My voice is not here to scare you, but to awaken you. Do you not feel how your spirit is vibrating? That is not imagination, my child. That is heaven's alarm ringing inside you, saying, "Wake up, something is happening now." And while others think you are unaware, while they think you are silent and defenseless, you are in fact surrounded by divine watchers who will not let the enemy's hand succeed. Even as I speak, I see their plans unfolding on the table. They are writing notes, exchanging papers, trying to bind your destiny with their signatures. But their pens are powerless in the presence of God's decree. For it is written, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper." My beloved, it does not say no weapon will be formed. They will be formed. You will feel their edge. You will hear their whispers. But it will not prosper. That is the promise you are living under right now. Their meetings are not greater than heaven's counsel. Their words are not greater than God's command. Their plans may rise like waves, but they will crash before they touch the shore of your life. And though you may feel fear in this moment, know that fear is the evidence that faith is required, and heaven is pouring faith into you as you hear these words. Do not, my beloved, underestimate how precious you are. The enemy plots against those who shine brightest. You may sometimes feel overlooked, but heaven has never overlooked you. Every prayer you whispered in silence, every tear you shed on your pillow, every ache you carried in secret, they were not forgotten. They were collected, stored like treasures before the throne, and today those very tears are testifying for you. The angels are lifting your cries as evidence, declaring before God, "This child deserves protection. This child deserves covering. This child deserves to walk unharmed." That is why I am here, speaking with urgency, so you would understand that this moment is not just about survival, it is about testimony. What the enemy planned as your downfall will become the story of your breakthrough. My child, I want you to picture this, a door, heavy and dark, with many hands trying to push it shut. They grunt, they sweat, they lean all their weight against it, believing if they can just close it fully, you will be locked away. But suddenly, light pours from behind you, and with a single touch of heaven's hand, the door bursts open. All those who pressed against it fall to the ground in shock, their strength undone. That door, my beloved, is your future. They tried to shut it. They are still trying. But God is opening it with force, and no man can close what He has chosen to open. This is your assurance, but you must take it seriously. Do not think this message is mere words, it is a prophetic mirror, showing you what is happening now. Heaven is not late. You are on time. This is your moment to receive. My beloved child, I must reveal something that may shake you even more deeply. The ones who plot against you are not strangers. No, they are people who once smiled at you, who once sat with you, who once pretended to stand beside you. That is why the pain cuts so sharp, because betrayal rarely comes from a distance, it comes from those close enough to wound the heart. And yet, God says this to you, do not let their betrayal define you. Let my love redefine you. They can plan meetings, they can sign papers, they can whisper in corners, but their power is borrowed and their days are short. The truth is that every plot formed against you will one day serve as proof of how untouchable you were under God's covering. This very season will become a testimony. You will tell the story not of how they destroyed you, but how heaven preserved you. Beloved, imagine for a moment the great courtroom of heaven. The accusers rise, holding scrolls with your name, listing reasons why you should fall, presenting arguments why you should be removed. But before the throne of God, their voices tremble. Their evidence withers. For each accusation, a voice stronger rises: your prayers, your tears, your faith, and the sacrifice of Christ Himself. One by one, their arguments collapse. One by one, their papers burn with the fire of divine truth. And when silence finally falls, God declares, "My child is innocent. My child is chosen. My child will rise." That is what is happening for you right now. While they gather in secret meetings on earth, heaven is holding a greater meeting above them, and you are being vindicated in ways you cannot yet see. Beloved, imagine for a moment the great courtroom of heaven. The accusers rise, holding scrolls with your name, listing reasons why you should fall, presenting arguments why you should be removed. But before the throne of God, their voices tremble. Their evidence withers. For each accusation, a voice stronger rises: your prayers, your tears, your faith, and the sacrifice of Christ Himself. One by one, their arguments collapse. One by one, their papers burn with the fire of divine truth. And when silence finally falls, God declares, "My child is innocent. My child is chosen. My child will rise." That is what is happening for you right now. While they gather in secret meetings on earth, heaven is holding a greater meeting above them, and you are being vindicated in ways you cannot yet see. Do not be surprised if in the coming days people who plotted against you begin to stumble. Watch carefully. You will see confusion in their words, cracks in their alliances, and sudden reversals in their confidence. What looked like a strong fortress will turn into a fragile tent, collapsing in on itself. And you, my beloved, will stand untouched in the center of it all. This is why the urgency is pressed into your spirit today. Heaven does not waste words. If you are reading this now, it is because God aligned time and space to bring this message to your eyes. You could have skipped it, you could have ignored it, but here you are, because your destiny demanded that you hear this truth. And now, my child, listen even closer. This season is not just about protection, it is about promotion. The enemy thought to remove you, but God intends to establish you. The very thing they try to take will multiply in your hands. The very voice they wanted silenced will echo louder. The very presence they wanted erased will shine brighter. That is how God works. He does not simply defend His children, He elevates them. Your story will not end in whispers of defeat, but in songs of victory. Already, the heavens are writing the next lines of your journey, lines filled with expansion, blessing, and unexpected doors. And when you step into them, even those who plotted will be forced to confess, this one was chosen. This one was protected. This one could not be removed. My beloved, I must tell you something that heaven has shown me in clarity. The enemy has always used meetings, whispers, and agreements in secret places to try to dismantle the lives of those chosen by God. But what they forget is that heaven also holds meetings. Even now, while they plan in the shadows, heaven's council is gathered in the light, declaring your name with honor. God is speaking over you in front of his angels. This one belongs to me. This one carries my mark. This one will not be removed. Their meeting may look powerful, but it is nothing compared to heaven's decree. Do you not feel the shift in your spirit as you hear these words? It is the confirmation that you are not abandoned. God's hand is still heavy upon you, and his angels are circling around you like fire, making sure no word of theirs can pierce your soul. My child, listen carefully, you are living in a divine reversal. What was meant to take you down will be turned into the very reason you rise higher. They believe they have authority to decide your future, but they are forgetting who authored your beginning. Every blessing, every opportunity, every breath you take has been written by the God of eternity, and no earthly counsel can rewrite his story. This is why heaven pressed me to speak so urgently. You may feel restless, you may feel shaken, but this is not fear, it is preparation. God is preparing your spirit for a victory that will silence your accusers. You will not be removed, you will be established. You will not be erased, you will be multiplied. The very mouths that spoke against you will be forced to admit they were wrong when they see what heaven does for you next. Beloved, picture this clearly, a fire burning in the middle of the night. Around it, people gather to plot, to conspire, to whisper against you. They believe the darkness covers their actions. But behind them, a brighter flame begins to rise, the fire of heaven. It grows taller, hotter, brighter, until it consumes the very sparks of their plans. One by one, they scatter, unable to endure the presence of light. That fire is rising now. It is burning around your name, around your destiny, around your home. They thought they were safe in secrecy, but heaven's fire has no boundaries. It finds every dark corner. It exposes every hidden word. And soon, my beloved, you will see proof of this as certain truths come to the surface, as certain secrets are revealed, as certain masks fall away. Then you will know this message was not imagination, it was the divine warning that preserved you. And still, my child, I must urge you, do not leave this halfway. This is not a message to glance at and forget. This is a spiritual lifeline. Every sentence you take in strengthens the shield around you. Every moment you linger here increases the presence of angels in your atmosphere. That is why heaven pleaded, do not let them skip this. Because to skip this would be to miss the alignment being prepared for your life. You may feel small right now, but I assure you, this moment is monumental. You are standing between what was planned against you and what God is about to do for you. Hold on, my beloved. Stay present. Because before this message closes, heaven will pour out truths that will not just warn you, but will set you free completely. My beloved child, the Spirit shows me clearly, you have felt the weight of eyes upon you, the strange heaviness when you walk into certain places, the silence that suddenly falls when your name is mentioned. These are not accidents. They are signals of the hidden meeting that is unfolding in the shadows. Yet I tell you this with absolute certainty, heaven is not silent. Do not confuse the quiet of God for the absence of God. For even in silence, he is moving pieces like a master chess player, preparing the very move that will shock those who believe they held power over you. They may believe their signatures carry finality, but God has written your destiny in eternal ink. It cannot be erased, and it cannot be revoked. The louder their whispers grow, the louder heaven's decree will thunder, and every voice raised against you will crumble in the sound. My beloved child, the Spirit shows me clearly, you have felt the weight of eyes upon you, the strange heaviness when you walk into certain places, the silence that suddenly falls when your name is mentioned. These are not accidents. They are signals of the hidden meeting that is unfolding in the shadows. Yet I tell you this with absolute certainty, heaven is not silent. Do not confuse the quiet of God for the absence of God. For even in silence, He is moving pieces like a master chess player, preparing the very move that will shock those who believe they held power over you. They may believe their signatures carry finality, but God has written your destiny in eternal ink. It cannot be erased, and it cannot be revoked. The louder their whispers grow, the louder heaven's decree will thunder, and every voice raised against you will crumble in the sound. My child, there is something you must know, their meeting is not about truth, it is about envy. They see the light in you, they see the favor that follows you, they see the blessings that arrive at your doorstep, and it unsettles them. Envy has turned into plotting, jealousy has turned into conspiracy, and now they think they can remove you to silence what shines too brightly. But do you not know? A light ordained by God cannot be extinguished by hands of flesh. They may cover their eyes, but they cannot erase the glow. They may shut the door, but they cannot stop the sunrise. And you, beloved, are that sunrise. That is why this urgency weighs so heavy on your heart right now, because heaven is declaring you unstoppable. Do not shrink, do not fear, do not run. Stand, for heaven is standing with you, and the very ground under you has been consecrated. Even now, I see angels being dispatched like lightning bolts. They are entering the spaces where your name is being discussed, not to sit silently but to scatter and confuse. They will turn allies into doubters, and they will turn whispers into hesitation. Papers they signed will be lost. Words they agreed upon will be contradicted. Their unity will fracture like glass struck by a stone. And when the dust settles, you will remain, untouched, unshaken, and unremoved. This is the miracle God has prepared, that what was meant to destroy you will expose them instead. And when that exposure comes, beloved, it will not only protect you, it will elevate you. The very storm they created will become the wind that carries you higher. The same fire they kindled to consume you will become the flame that refines you into gold. They cannot win, because they are not fighting against you alone, they are fighting against the God who called you His own. My beloved, there is a reason your spirit feels like trembling water, rippling without rest. It is because the unseen world is shaking with conflict right now. Angels are in motion, demons are retreating, voices are clashing, and you are at the center of the battlefield. But hear me clearly, you are not in danger, you are in destiny. This shaking is not the end, it is the sign of your rising. The enemy always trembles hardest when victory is near, and that is why you feel the intensity of this moment. Do not mistake the weight for weakness. The weight is proof that you are important enough to be targeted, and important enough to be protected. Heaven does not fight for what is worthless. You are priceless, beloved. You are chosen. And that is why the message keeps repeating: do not skip, do not turn away, do not let this moment pass. My beloved child, the time is so fragile right now that even a single hesitation can make the difference between delay and deliverance. That is why I keep repeating, do not skip this. You see, in heaven's timing, there are windows, small openings where miracles rush through like floods. Right now, you are in such a window. It is narrow, it is brief, but it carries the power to shift everything in your life. The enemy knows this, and that is why they are pressing hard with their meetings and whispers, because they fear what will happen if you step fully into this opening. They are racing against heaven's clock. But here is the truth: they cannot outrun the God who holds time in his hand. He can stretch 3 minutes into eternity. He can flip the balance of power in the blink of an eye. And that, my beloved, is happening even as you breathe. My child, understand this clearly: your presence is dangerous to the enemy. That is why they wish to remove you. It is not because you are weak, it is because you are strong. It is not because you are empty, it is because you are full of light. The darkness fears what you carry. The meeting they arranged is not a sign of their power, but of their fear. For if you were nothing, they would not gather. If you were irrelevant, they would not waste their breath. Do you see? Their plotting is proof of your importance. Heaven laughs at their efforts because God has already sealed you with a calling that no meeting can revoke. And so, while they conspire, angels prepare to intervene. While they whisper, heaven speaks louder. While they write your removal, God writes your restoration. My child, you are not going to fall. You are going to rise. Beloved, you may wonder, why me? Why does the battle seem so fierce over my life? And here is the answer: because your story is not just your own. There are lives tied to your destiny, hearts that will be changed because of your light, generations that will be impacted because of your faith. If the enemy could silence you, he could silence the blessing meant for many others. That is why he is fighting so hard. But greater still is why heaven is fighting harder. You are not just one soul among millions, you are a chosen vessel, and what you carry must be preserved. This is why Archangel Michael was sent with urgency. Not just to comfort you, but to guard you, to warn you, to strengthen you so you do not faint in the middle of the storm. Hear me, you are covered more than you realize. Even your sighs are heard, even your smallest prayers are weapons that angels use on your behalf. Beloved, you may wonder, why me? Why does the battle seem so fierce over my life? And here is the answer: because your story is not just your own. There are lives tied to your destiny, hearts that will be changed because of your light, generations that will be impacted because of your faith. If the enemy could silence you, he could silence the blessing meant for many others. That is why he is fighting so hard. But greater still is why heaven is fighting harder. You are not just one soul among millions, you are a chosen vessel, and what you carry must be preserved. This is why Archangel Michael was sent with urgency. Not just to comfort you, but to guard you, to warn you, to strengthen you so you do not faint in the middle of the storm. Hear me, you are covered more than you realize. Even your sighs are heard, even your smallest prayers are weapons that angels use on your behalf. My child, picture yourself in a vast battlefield. Around you, enemies encircle, their weapons drawn, their shouts loud. It looks overwhelming. Yet suddenly, from the skies, a blinding light descends. 10,000 angels rush down, their swords gleaming, their wings thundering, surrounding you on every side. The enemy trembles, their courage melts, and they scatter like dust in the wind. That, beloved, is your reality right now in the spirit. You may feel outnumbered in the natural, but in truth, they are outnumbered beyond comprehension. Heaven's army fights for you, and I, Michael, lead them. Do not let fear lie to you. The enemy is loud because he is losing. He is desperate because he knows his time is short. And the louder he plots, the faster he will be silenced. This is your assurance: you are not standing alone in this hour. You are surrounded. You are victorious already. My beloved, hear me clearly: what is being attempted against you is not the final word. The meeting where your name is being whispered is only the echo of fear, but the thunder of heaven will always be louder. God is already moving ahead of them. Even as they conspire, He is preparing a reversal so shocking that you yourself will marvel. You will look back and say, "Truly, the hand of the Lord was with me." This moment is not about defeat, it is about testimony. For when heaven rescues, it rescues in such a way that no one can deny it was divine. The ones who tried to erase you will be forced to witness you rise higher, stronger, brighter. And the more they push against you, the more heaven will lift you. This is the mystery of God's protection. It turns plots into platforms, it turns weapons into witnesses, it turns darkness into dawn. My child, I want you to remember the nights when you almost gave up. Those nights when you thought no one saw your struggle, no one heard your silent cry. Heaven was listening then, and heaven is responding now. The tears you shed in secret are the reason angels are fighting in the open. You may have thought your prayers were too small, your words too weak, but not a single syllable has been forgotten. They are written, stored, and brought before the throne as proof of your faith. That is why you are being protected now. This is not a random message, it is the harvest of your cries. You planted faith in silence, and now you will reap protection in power. They may gather, they may whisper, they may plan, but they are too late. God already heard you, and His answer has arrived in the form of this very moment. Beloved, you are wondering why this warning carries so much urgency. It is because the time is short. Heaven does not send such messages unless the moment is critical. There are things being decided even as you read. There are words being spoken in hidden places. But the Lord has placed a shield around your destiny, and He is saying to you, "Stay under my covering. Stay within my word. Do not leave this message half open. Do not walk away when I am still speaking. Because every sentence you read strengthens your armor. Every word you let sink into your heart makes you harder to touch. This message is not just guidance, it is a weapon being placed in your hands. With it, you will cut through fear, break through lies, and step into the fullness of the future God has promised. This is why you must not treat it lightly, my beloved. This is life, this is warning, this is miracle. And now I must show you a vision. I see a great table where decisions are being made against you. Men and women are gathered, leaning forward, whispering with intent. They think you are blind to this. They think you are powerless. But suddenly, a light breaks into that room. Papers scatter. Hands tremble. Their whispers are drowned out by a voice they cannot silence, the voice of God declaring, "This one belongs to me." Their meeting ends not with your removal, but with their confusion. They leave shaken, unable to understand why their unity fell apart. But you, my beloved, will understand. You will know it was not chance, not luck, not coincidence, it was the intervention of heaven itself. This is the miracle that is already moving toward you. Stay here. Do not miss it. For what I am speaking now is not fantasy, it is the unseen reality wrapping itself around your life. My beloved, the truth I must share is this: every battle you are facing now is proof that you are closer to breakthrough than you realize. The enemy never rises this violently unless destiny is near. If you could see the scrolls of heaven, you would know your name is shining brightly upon them. You are marked for a season of expansion, and that is why hell itself has tried to gather in meetings against you. But those who gather do not realize they are gathering in vain. Their words will not last. Their signatures will fade. Their intentions will be scattered like dry leaves in a storm. God is not a distant observer in your story, He is the author, and He has already written the ending. That ending does not say removal. That ending does not say defeat. It says victory. It says promotion. It says testimony. And no one can rewrite what God has sealed. My child, lean closer now. Heaven does not waste urgency. The 3 minutes declared over your spirit were not to frighten you, but to awaken you. The countdown is real, because timing is everything in the spiritual realm. When the enemy believes he has gained ground, heaven intervenes in exact precision, turning the very moment of attack into the moment of rescue. That is what is unfolding right now. Can you not feel it in your heart? The trembling, the heat, the pull, this is the evidence that heaven is moving. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. You are not vulnerable. You are in the very center of God's gaze, and He has commanded me, Michael, to ensure you remain unshaken. Their meeting cannot erase you, because your identity was carved by the hand of eternity long before they even existed. My child, lean closer now. Heaven does not waste urgency. The 3 minutes declared over your spirit were not to frighten you, but to awaken you. The countdown is real, because timing is everything in the spiritual realm. When the enemy believes he has gained ground, heaven intervenes in exact precision, turning the very moment of attack into the moment of rescue. That is what is unfolding right now. Can you not feel it in your heart? The trembling, the heat, the pull, this is the evidence that heaven is moving. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. You are not vulnerable. You are in the very center of God's gaze, and He has commanded me, Michael, to ensure you remain unshaken. Their meeting cannot erase you, because your identity was carved by the hand of eternity long before they even existed. Beloved, I see the weight you've been carrying. The doubts, the questions, the fears that whisper in the dark, what if they succeed? What if I lose everything? But hear me, my child, fear is the lie, faith is the truth. And the truth is this: you cannot lose what God has preserved. Even if they try to strip away opportunities, even if they attempt to close doors, even if they scheme for your removal, it will backfire. Every door they shut will force another to open wider. Every loss they plan will turn into a gain. Every silence they wish upon you will turn into a louder voice. For this is how heaven works: it takes what is meant for evil and transforms it into good. They will regret ever touching your name, because it will be the very reason you rise. This is not the end, it is the beginning of a greater unfolding of who you are meant to become. And now, beloved, I see heaven's army in motion. Do you know what it looks like when angels take position? It is like fire forming a circle around you. Each flame a guardian, each spark a shield. They are not passive. They are fierce. They carry swords of light that slice through darkness and silence the whispers of your enemies. And right now, that fire is forming around you. The ones who think they are safe in their plotting will soon discover they are the ones exposed. Heaven will allow just enough time for their schemes to reveal their hearts, and then the light will break through, exposing their intentions, scattering their unity, leaving them powerless. And you, my beloved, will walk forward untouched, carrying not scars of defeat but the glow of survival. You will stand as a living testimony that heaven's protection is greater than any earthly plan. My beloved child, let me show you a vision as clear as the sunrise. I see you standing at a doorway, and behind that door is everything you have been waiting for: peace, restoration, breakthrough, blessings that will overflow not only for you but for those you love. Yet, in front of the door, there are figures whispering, trying to block you, hoping to convince you that you have no right to enter. They carry papers, signatures, and words designed to intimidate you. But here is the truth: they cannot hold the key, because the key was never theirs. The key belongs to heaven, and it has already been placed in your hands. They can threaten, but they cannot decide. They can plan, but they cannot prevail. All the while, heaven is watching, smiling, because soon the very ones who tried to stop you will see you walk through the door they swore would remain shut. My child, I want you to take courage in this: your future is not fragile. It is not hanging by a thread that men can cut. It is anchored in the eternal will of God. Their meeting may appear urgent, but heaven's decree is final. And that decree says you are chosen, you are protected, you are unstoppable. Think of it like this: when storms rage against a mountain, the mountain does not move. The winds howl, the rains pour, but the mountain stands, unmoved, unbroken. That mountain, beloved, is you. You may feel the storm, you may hear the noise, but you will not be moved. God Himself is your foundation, and no shaking can uproot what He has planted. The louder their plotting grows, the stronger your roots will sink. This is why you are still here despite everything you faced, because you are unshakable when heaven holds you. Beloved, let me tell you something else: the enemy always overplays his hand. He thinks he is clever, but he forgets that God sees the end from the beginning. The very meeting they are arranging will expose them, not you. It will reveal their jealousy, their fear, their deception. And when it comes into the light, their credibility will shatter. They will try to point fingers at you, but the evidence will fall back on their own hands. This is the divine turnaround. You do not even need to fight with words, for heaven is fighting for you. God has a way of letting the enemy dig a pit so deep that they themselves fall into it. That is what is unfolding now. They are building a trap, but that trap will become their downfall. And you, beloved, will walk past it untouched, unharmed, unremoved. For this is the promise that surrounds you: no weapon formed against you will prosper. My child, take these words seriously. You are not reading this by accident. Out of all the moments of your life, heaven chose this exact one to send me to you. This urgency is not random, it is strategic. God knew the whispers would rise today. He knew the papers would be signed. He knew the words would be spoken. And so he sent this message, wrapped in fire, so you would not fall into despair. Heaven is saying, do not fear. I am still in control. I have already written the outcome. And that outcome is not your removal, it is your renewal. You will rise out of this stronger, with more favor than before. Those who thought they had silenced you will hear your voice louder. Those who believed they could push you aside will watch you move into places they cannot enter. This is the power of divine reversal, and it is working for you even now.